Yeah.
And
see, there's so much going on that we have no idea about, really. And this is what I don't like to alarm people, but I think they have to stop thinking that the world's going to come to an end sometime in the distant future all at once, because you'll find out that we've been getting poisoned and so on and tested on. In fact, it's been happening to people before I was born, and it's happened during my generation, and they're doing it to the next generation. It's an ongoing program here where this is the laboratory, and we are the guinea pigs.
yeah.
And not only that, they know, I think, what they're really, really doing. It's an interesting thing that I think
You think they know what they're doing, Alan?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
These guys have such incredible plans, and you cannot go by the media. The media will put you into a certain mindset, so you can't really fathom out what's happening, because you're trying to use normal logic according to the data. But when you use the observations and the facts that come out over the years, you start to get this incredible picture that these characters know exactly where they're going with us all. And then you tap into the global meetings on depopulation, and also rendering people ill so that they'll be very poor marriage partners. And all of this has been going on for donkey's years. And here we are getting sprayed like bugs every day on these aircraft.
Yeah.
And there's not a peep from anybody near the top, or any media. Now, a media that won't even talk about this, I wouldn't listen to about anything, because that's how controlled they are. That shows you there's total control when no one in the media is going to risk their job and their career by stating what's obvious if we just look up. And that's a scary thought when you think about it. So we got to stop relying on them for information on anything, and do it all ourselves.
Gonzalez. What the heck is his, I can't remember who he is, Attorney General? Well, I got an email this past weekend, where he was quoted as saying that journalists can be prosecuted. That is, evidently, if something that they're reporting is considered to be a threat to national security.
Oh, I know. They're taking this all the way.
Journalists. And, there have been a lot of journalists killed over there in Iraq and disappeared. And
yeah.
So some of them, when they try to jump ship and do it right, Alan, they just do them in.
That's the real world. See, that's the real world. It's a scary thing for most people to realize that all these glossy magazines and newspapers really, on the one hand, are not telling you really what's happening, and a lot of what they are telling you is total disinformation to keep you twiddling your thumbs and smiling away. That's part of mind control. Mind control works primarily through the data that you receive. And when you believe that the media is there to do your thinking for you, then you're under mind control. And Aldous Huxley pretty well said that, So this is well understood. We form our opinions on what we're fed.
Well, I remember one time when we were talking, I know I brought this up last week, more on a spiritual level, when you said that they're at the top.
Yeah.
The ones that we believe are in control are actually controlled by another level.
Yeah.
People that we don't, or creatures, I don't know what we would call them. But when I said, well, you said that their greatest fear is that enough people will realize the power that is within us.
Yeah.
And I asked, at that time, how many do you think it would take? And you said, I don't think too many, because there really aren't too many of them. And Alan, you see, to me, that's important for people to realize that all of these plans and all of what they're doing right now, and I know that we're part of it, and we have been, but we know that with Creator, all things are possible.
They're possible as long as we understand fully, and I mean fully, the situation we're in. you see, close to this, on the mirror image of this,
Yes.
You have all the New Age movement, which grabs all the real data. See, intelligence, this is what intelligence and counterintelligence is. Intelligence is information that's being passed around the ordinary public. It's leaked out, it's getting passed around. Counterintelligence agencies that work for the super government grab that information. They put out their own people to become superstars, and so the public immediately listen to them.
Yes.
We're trained to follow the stars, like
Yes.
Hollywood,
Yes.
the big successful ones. So they say the same things, the intelligence, then they counter it by wrapping it up in a lot of nonsense and throwing it off into outer space, or telling you it doesn't matter. It's all illusion.
It doesn't matter.
And that's the trick of counterintelligence.
It doesn't matter.
You see, so I'm trying to tell people.
It's all illusion.
Yeah, and I've heard people who phone me up, they'll follow the big ones, and that's what they'll tell me. It doesn't matter because nothing's real anyway. And I thought, boy, what a mind job has been done on them, because now they're rendered utterly harmless.
Well, when I was listening to one of your videos, watching, and the questions that come in my mind, and one of them was, okay, why are we here? Why are we here?
Yep.
Who are we and why are we here?
Yep.
We are here. At least our consciousness.
We wake up every day as ourselves.
Yes, what I'm saying is, and we had this, actually it was a wonderful spontaneous conversation once on the air, and I remember the date, and I went and got that tape because I wanted to hear it, and the tape was totally inaudible, from my own machine.
I told you what happened here.
No.
A little while back there. I was taping something down to Jason in the States.
Yeah.
He listened to it and all that. He put the tape up on something on top of a speaker or somewhere or a table, and the next morning it was wiped. You could hear his voice asking questions, and my voice was gone.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere I answered was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the technology.
Well, that's what happened to I was just sick about it, because it was so important what we talked about. Basically, that we are all existing, even though our consciousness is fully focused here in the physical realm, in the third dimension, but that every single thing we do here matters in every single dimension.
I'll tell you one thing. The proof of it is in the incredible length and planning. Now, 9/11, let's just start with this nonsense here, 9/11. Because we know they published this in the Project for New American Century, the whole war plan to attack Afghanistan, Iraq, then Iran, then Syria, and so on. And then Brzezinski brought his book out, The Grand Chessboard, with the same strategy and battle plan in it. So this was planned long before 9/11. And the proof is also in the fact that pretty well every country on the planet has signed into this anti-terrorism campaign, and they went into action at the same time with the same plans to make sure they can survey every single person in their population totally in all communications. Now that obviously took, you know the speed of bureaucracy. You know how slow bureaucracy is.
Oh yeah.
So this shows you the tremendous work that went in worldwide long before 9/11 came into being.
Okay.
And here's your key. Now, what is it they're afraid of? I mean, there's people going through the border there who certainly do not look like Arabs. They don't look like Arabs, but everybody's going through this farce in every country, and your telephones are being tapped, your email, your fax, all communications. Everybody has obviously got something in them that terrifies them. Everybody.